Hello everyone, it's me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. I am back with a witchy video as always, and today we're going to be dissecting what the left-hand path is. So you might have heard the term thrown around, especially if you're in witchy communities or occult communities, and you might either not know what it is, or you might have a misconception about it, because once upon a time, even I had a misconception about what it is. So yes, let's talk about the left-hand path. What is it? What does it mean? Let's get into it. Now, if you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm Sarah, that divination witch. I hope you stick around. This channel is a safe space where you are free to ask questions and nobody's silly. Everyone starts somewhere and everyone's on a different path as well. We can learn from each other. We can help each other out. So please do help each other out in the comments. And if you know what's good for you, you know what to do. Hit subscribe. And if you do want to support the channel further, I've got a link tree below where I offer readings on Etsy and my website. I've got Patreon. I teach tarot. Same on memberships. I'm also running a whole thing for 2025. So go check it out on Patreon if you want to know about the dark feminine. I've said before on this channel how humans, all of us like to have labels, and I've said it before and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. We like to have labels so we can understand things, basically. So we label each other, we label objects, we label everything, we label things in categories and job roles, job titles, hierarchies, and blooming everything's labelled. So why would occult circles or spiritual circles be any different? And basically, the left-hand path is but a label. It's a label, all right? It's a category. It's a title for a certain path, you could say. Now, it's in the name, left hand. Well, what's that all about? What's the connotation with that? Because with superstitions as well, like the left, I'm talking very old superstition, although some people probably think this way still, but left-handed people were meant to be spawns of the devil and things like this. The left is evil. Oh no, the left. No, it's not evil, all right? It's literally left and right. It's a direction. It's the yin and the yang. It's the light and the dark. The left-hand path is the feminine side of the universe. It's the divine feminine, really, is what it is. It's the force of creation. And with the force of creation is the belief that you are a part of that creation and you are the master of that creation in your own universe, in your own life. It is the path of, some people say, self-deification, not defecation. I saw someone make that typo once. It really tickled me. This edgelord person put self-defecation. Anyways, no, deification, meaning treating yourself as a god. And the blooming edgelords love that one. Become a living god, eh? There are a few different people, not just one person, you know, that treat it literal, that take it too bloody far, and are all dark and spooky and I'm Mr. Badass, I am going to be. Oh, no, babes, that's not really what it's about. And that's what gives the left-hand path a bad rap. It's chucked in with things like what Christians would call Satanism. And Satanism isn't all bad either, by the way. I'm not calling that all bad, because it isn't. It's like every religion, you get good and bad in all of it. You know, there's problematic people in Christianity, so of course there's problematic people in pagan and occult and witch circles as well. You have Yahtzees in the Norse path and the left-hand path. You know, there are problematic people, cultural appropriators, things like this, in all paths, okay? As well as your Christians. You can get some lovely Christians, your Muslims and whoever else. Nice and nasty everywhere. Because it's the yin and the yang, basically. And the left-hand path, it's self-deification. not defecation, and it is treating yourself as the master of your own universe. That does not mean be a Mr. Big Head narcissist and to have other people bow at your feet. Who the hell do you think you are? No. It's a Lilith sort of philosophy, in a way, that you bow before nobody else but yourself. You treat yourself as God. It doesn't mean you have disrespect for others. It doesn't mean that you can't worship gods, but you hold yourself accountable. You hold yourself responsible, and you grow. And the left-hand path is not an easy path to walk down. And a lot of people end up working with deities and demons and spirits that are dark, that are by nature known as dark. And yes, some of them, it's to bloomin' be Mr. Edgelord, whatever. But like I've discussed on the channel before, say I worked with Lucifer as an example. Lucifer isn't all bad. He's not all good either. He's, I would say, ambivalent. Is that the right word? He can be benevolent. And he can be malevolent. It's all depending upon the perspective of things, because that is the universe, So, if somebody wrongs you, say someone's going to break into your home and you hit them with a baseball bat because they've broken into your home. To you, that's a deterrent and that's stopping them. But someone else could think, oh, well, you're an attacker. You're in the wrong. You shouldn't have done that. The left-hand path I have found is very much an eye for an eye. It's very much balance and fairness, to be quite honest with you. True left-hand path philosophy is. Because it is a philosophy. It is not about going through the Cliff-Oath or the Sephiroth or I'm going to invoke this demon, I'm going to summon payment and win the lottery. It's not. That is trivial. That is bullshit. You don't have to know anything about demonology. You don't have to know anything about any of the darker deities, you could say, although a lot of people gravitate towards them. You could be a Hellenic practitioner. I wouldn't say a reconstructionist, because if you're a Hellenic reconstructionist, you're going to follow that. But you could be working with the Hellenic pantheon and be on the left-hand path. You could be working with, say, Dionysus. Just an example. Dionysus, he is similar to Lucifer, actually. A different sort of side of him. He's also similar to Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And so is Lucifer, actually. They're all intertwined. They're all called the morning star at some point or another. And they're all beings of healing and knowledge and light. And Dionysus can be an amazing deity to work with. He can be so kind and caring and compassionate, but he can also induce madness, two sides of the same thing. That's all anything is. So the left-hand path is not just about demonology and being edgy and spooky and scary. It is basically treating yourself with damn respect, doing your shadow work and healing. And shadow work in itself, if you don't know what that is basically psychology. That is working through the dark parts of yourself, the upsetting parts of yourself that you don't like to address, working through it to become stronger, because ultimately the left-hand path is about strength. It is about standing on your own 2 feet and taking accountability and basically putting up with no BS, being fair, having firm boundaries and being assertive. So you could work with any deity for that, really. Now, the flip side of the coin, I suppose you could call the right-hand path, and that's just as problematic in some areas as the left-hand path. You have your edgy people, your problematic people on the left-hand path. You've got it on the right as well. You've got your spiritual bypassers. You've got the people who don't want to accept that they've got a shadow, that everything's love and light, and there's nothing wrong with love and light. Of course there isn't. I would love some love and light in my life, but I can't deny the fact I've got a shadow, and I don't always feel like that, and I can't always be like that. And there are some it's like toxic positivity in spirituality. And the right hand path, they practice self-sacrifice, putting yourself last, being a martyr in a way. And sometimes that's a noble and honourable thing to do. And I've done it my bloody self, because a lot of traumatised people have, where you put other people's needs before yourself. But I've learned the hard way. If you do that, does that fix your problem? No. You might feel better in the short term. You might feel good. Oh, I've helped someone out. I feel great. I'm a nice person. A nice person who's still traumatized and got a load of shadows, you know. And then you get the people who do it out of narcissism, communal narcissists, I believe is the term. And it's not just in spirituality, that's not. It's when people are like, oh, I'm such a do-gooder, I'm great, I'm a saviour, worship me. Worship me. Two sides of the same coin. One wants worship, the other wants worship. It's the same, but different, you know. So seriously, I wanted to make this video because people have asked me about it. And, you know, I'm someone who openly works with Hecate, who's very much in the middle. I wouldn't say she's one or the other, really, although she's always lumped in with the edgy people. Oh. And some of my old videos on the channel are, you know, there's hills I've stood on and I'm like, oh, I'm going to die on this hill. And yes, I've been wrong, like the cliff off thing. Hecate can't put you in the cliff off, I said. She can, but any deity can. Because it's part of the left-hand path. And if you're meant to walk it, you're meant to walk it. You're meant to do that. But you could have Odin putting you through, Zeus putting you through, any deity putting you through if it's for your highest good, you know. It's not as clear-cut as we think. So please, if you are identifying as a left-hand path person, great, you know, fine, or right-hand path, but don't put others down and don't judge people as well. If you're looking at it from the outside in, don't think and don't automatically assume everyone's going to be an edgelord. And the same for the other side. I try and listen to people from all walks of life, and there's some people who I've took advice from and learned from that are not even witches, that are different religions, Buddhists, Hindus, you know, even some Christians. They're not all, you know, I harp on about Christians because I get attacked by them the most, but it isn't just about Christians here. You know, the seeds of truth and everything, and Hecate teaches me and tells me to say on this channel about, look, there's no right and wrong. It's your own way, okay? And if your own way is finding an organised religion, well, whatever. If it works for you, great. But if your own way is finding truths in many sources, then great as well, you know? So I just wanted to educate on that, I suppose. The left-hand path, in a nutshell, is a philosophy, and it's not about demonology, really, although that is often linked with it, just because of the nature of the spirits found within such things. It does not mean the left-hand path is solely that. So I hope that this helped. And if there's anything else you want to learn or ask me about, or help me learn as well, put it in the comments. Just all be respectful. That's all I ask. If you made it this far, you may as well hit subscribe and check out my channel for more experiences and things that I've taught in the playlists. Till next time, stay safe, stay witchy. Bye.